The atmosphere is very nice and warm here on the start line today. Really is. Nice big crowds. The riders have been signing on for the last hour. And the reception they're getting from the local crowd really is quite special, I would say. It just feels, you can really feel the warmth of the crowd here in this particular championship. I think that's what really makes it stand apart from other championships that we've had. Not to say they're not warm, but just this one just seems to have this real affinity with the riders. And I guess it's just all out enthusiasm, actually. The race is about to start as we tick our way through all of the riders who will be taken to the start line, and we'll try and identify as many riders for you as possible as we enjoy the next few hours of racing. This was the sign-on from earlier on.
Less than 5 minutes. Less than 5 minutes.
As everybody put their signatures on this backdrop.
There we go.
All smiles on the podium. As two nations side by side sign on. There's Aveta Holland and Sonica Klopper. This is our neutral athletes team who are signing on. Ivanchenko, Samsonova, Smirnova and Valkonen. The Swedish team getting ready. Two representatives from Sweden this afternoon. They are Stina Kagavi, Karen Soderquist. And the United States of America all ready for action as we welcomed onto the stage Mia Hazeltine, Ella Sabo, Catherine Sarkisov, Rwanda in a changed kit, beautiful kit actually, in front of their home crowd. There they are, full representatives: Charlotte Iragena, Jazila Umakazana. We saw Marta Tanakazmana the other day, she's in the team. Takunda as well. Here's the Australians with the new world mixed relay champion, Felicity Wilson-Haffenden in that squad. Ali Anderson, Talia Appleton, Mackenzie Coupland. And this is the team of Luxembourg, Gwen Norton and Marie Schreiber. This is our Belgian team with Laura de Skepa, Tess Mormon and Sadie Van Sinay. And they are getting ready for action. And this is our Canadian squad. They've got one of the race favourites in this field today. Ava Holmgren hasn't taken to the start, but Isabella Holmgren has. And France with a very strong team. French team, here they are. That's a strong squad, isn't it? Julie Begaud, Marianne Brunel, Celia Géry. And here's the team of Spain, another strong squad. We'll see how they do this afternoon. Team of Colombia. Another of these dark blue kits that seem to have appeared in the peloton. Garzon and Londono. And here's Germany. The German squad getting ready. Christina Chapler, Selma Lange and Linda Riedman. And Great Britain with the race favourite Kat Ferguson right there in the middle.
Going to be 119.3 with 2,435 from here. We'll be having.
Here's the lineup then of today's race. We're just after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Dropping the flag on the start will be Candy Samingera, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Sport. Our mascot is there as well. The flag will be in the hands of Candy Basamangera. Big concentration. The countdown is about to happen as we get ready for the race start of this historic Under-23 World Road Race Championship for women.
10 seconds, decent roll.
10 seconds into the race starts. Randy Ferguson starts the countdown. The flag is about to be dropped. And we're underway. The drums, as always, which accompany this race. I think some of the riders at the back may well find even the start of this race a little bit fast. Little neutralised section.
This is the 2025 UCI Rome.
Lining up then behind the car, the team of France. There's Julie Bergot on the left-hand side. Ryan Brunel on the right-hand side. Celia Géry in the middle. The British team over on the right. I think it's safe to say that these riders believe that you need to stay right now at the front of this race. You cannot afford to be anywhere near the middle or the back of this peloton. Most of the riders believe that this race is going to come forward. The flag is ready, the neutralised section is over, and we're about to get this race underway. Welcome. I'd like to keep in touch during the race. @McCrossan is where you can get me on social media. Don't forget to follow at UCI_cycling and at UCI.org. Today is the big congress of the UCI, so all the rule changes are being decided in a room about 5 minutes walk from where I am right now. The President Paul Kagame of Rwanda opened the congress this morning early on. And we can really feel that we're getting to the final weekend of racing, because last night more and more familiar faces arrived at the World Championships. A little bit of calm down here for the jury, just saying keep things nice and calm. Left-hand turn before we get onto the main key bit of the road where we can drop the flag. Italy are up at the front. There's a real forcing of the pace, and the jury, the race jury, not happy that the pace is too high, trying to keep everybody behind the car. Just looking for the end of this neutralised section. Rwanda with representation also right up at the front of the race, looking for the first attack. I think we're going to start on this slight uphill section. There we go. The flag is dropped on the 2025 Under-23 World Road Race Championship for women. This sport is progressing at the pace that it should, and it is an historic day. Right in the middle, the team of Canada, who've got one of the race favourites in Isabella Holmgren. Many riders looking for opportunities. There's 2,435 metres of elevation today. It's a massive amount of climbing. Bear in mind, we're already sitting here on the commentary position at just under 1,500 metres. So it's not going to be an easy afternoon at all. information then that Eva Holmgren didn't take to the race start there on the right hand side. There's some fast sections on this course, and there are some incredibly hard sections as well. The coat of Kigali Golf is only 800 metres, but it's got a kick of 14% right at the beginning of it. You go into the first bit, 12%, 14%. Rider from the Ivory Coast is already being distanced, Naomi Tayabra. Just cannot find the gear to even stay in the slipstream. 20 years of age. It is an absolute baptism of fire in here if you have not ridden against the World Tour opposition, of which there is many in here. You look at the likes of Imogen Wolf, of Kat Ferguson, Millie Cousins, Isabella Holmgren and others who are already riding at the top level in the world. So we're going to loop our way round, head down towards Kigali Golf on 592 Street after being down 535 Street, and 548 Street comes just afterwards. Sorry about the little bit of picture breakup. The first time that we hit climbs today, we'll be part of the way through this 15-kilometre circuit, or 15.1 kilometre circuit. But everybody staying pretty well tied together right now. The first time we hit the top of a climb will be 111.6, so 112.4 kilometres is where we hit the first of our climbs. The problem with this course today is that you have no time to recover in between what are very, very tough sections. Everybody just keeping the tempo very high. The Italian team trying to move up on the left-hand side. A little bit of adjustments going on with shoes. You've got to keep pushing forward around here. Oh, big crash at the back already. That's a big fall. A couple of riders have hit the deck here. Alma Abroud of Tunisia. And also down looks like Vanette Oussou. Oh, that was a big crash. The Benin rider hitting the deck, her bike disappearing down the road. That was a big fall. That's why the top riders have said this is going to be really tough, very attritional, and you have to stay near the front the entire time. Whoa, 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 whoa. The Belgian rider locking it up and going sideways and taking a number of riders out, including some of the British riders. I don't think anyone fell, but a number of riders had to lock on pretty hard. Here's a replay. Look at the Belgian rider. Don't know what she was doing, but she locked it up and took half the field across the road. And some riders did fall because of that. Looks like one of the Australian riders potentially. There's a lot of nerves in this peloton. As things settle down a little bit, we wait for the riders to get to the bottom of this climb. We've got about 2 kilometres till we get there. The riders that are on the top of everybody's list as far as being potentially winners of this race are concerned, mainly the British team, the team of Spain, France, Canada, Slovakia, Luxembourg, and the neutral team are the kind of team that is on the teams are on everybody's lips around here as potential winners. And the reasons for that are widely known. Just the experience of some of these riders have already got. If we look at example for the team of France, what a depth of experience they've already got. So Marion Brunel, for example, rode a Tour de France fan. She was in support of the victory of Pauline Ferrand-Prévot. She just finished second in the Tour de l'Avenir, the Tour of the Future, which was won by Isabella Holmgren, the Canadian rider. And Holmgren is the rider that many people are mentioning as the potential winner of today's race. The Canadian, 20 years of age, didn't ride the time trial, chose to just ride a road race. An exceptionally talented rider, Isabella Holmgren, already with a contract with Lidl Trek until the end of 2028. Signing long-term contracts now, Lidl Trek. This is Monique du Plessis of Namibia, may well have been held up by those falls. She's going to struggle to come back here though, unless she gets in the race convoy. Already you can see this peloton is starting to slim down a little bit. Well, Lidl Trek has signed long-term contracts in the men's and the women's team. Think about today, the news that UCI has signed for Lidl Trek until the end of 2030 on a reported just under 4 million a year. Florence Nakagwa at the back there for Uganda. That's what she's done so far in her career. Gets herself back in. There's a few riders just having to check brakes, and you get that kind of seesaw effect. The riders, things just ebb and flow, the pace goes up and down. We're getting towards Kigali Golf now, named because there's a golf course to the right hand side. Now this hill's pretty hard, we drove round it the other day, and it really does start to show you a beautiful area of Kigali. There's some quite spectacular apartments and houses around here as well. And then nestled alongside the traditional houses. You've got to be fast into the bottom of this particular climb. And the climb now rears up in front. It's a case of just keeping the tempo, keeping it, making sure everything is good. Your team putting you in a good position. If you're one of the race favourites, already riders are just going to be distanced. Mentana Bilal of Egypt there on the left-hand side. The right-hand side is Carla de Araju, riding for Angola. Right to the front of the peloton, real show of strength by the French team, with Celia Géry and Julia Bigot. Oops, a little bit of a coming together again as riders had a few problems there. Ugandan rider looks like she may well never see the peloton again at this rate. Now the Slovakian team with Shladnova, she's there. We're going to get big crowds on this hill this afternoon. How many people are already at the barriers? Canada looking strong, Sweden also, France at the front. Great Britain kind of dotted around. Team of the USA. There's one of the Rwandan riders, number 43, Charlotte Irugena. 19 years of age, up against some pretty hefty competition here. Look at that though, she's decided, I'm not going to be dropped, and that just shows just how much it means to these Rwandan riders to be still in that peloton with so many fans cheering them on. She found a little bit of strength. Just hasn't managed to make it back into the wheels. If things slow down, she might come back. The new triathletes team are there on the left-hand side as we looked. That kind of, how would you call it? It's not quite white and it's not quite blue. It's kind of a steel blue, isn't it? A cool blue colour. It's a Kenyan team. This is Grace Kaviro. Tends to ride a bit of mountain bike, Grace. Just out the saddle, just trying to keep things going. Oops, and a big problem here for Selma Lange. And the gear is stuck. That's not good news for Germany. She can't get that chain back on. She's going to wait for the team car. We're over the top of Kigali Golf now. This will give you an idea of just how long the race have between the climbs and why everybody's saying, and the race is full on later on, but it's actually going to be quite difficult for you to recover in between the climbs, because in reality you've only got 3 kilometres between the top of each of them. So a few reports from the race starts as to what riders have been saying. Most people saying, despite the conditions, they expect to start really aggressively, very early. Tom Pluvan, who does a lot of the interviews here, asked Talia Appleton. She said that Australia want to be very aggressive. I got a chance to talk to Kat Ferguson before the start, just after she'd signed on. Kat Ferguson said she felt that this was going to be really attritional. You had to be near the front, you needed a lot of luck for things to go your way. But you knew there was no place to be sitting back. Asked her about the weather. She said, yeah, it's going to be hot. She was wearing her ice vest, which clearly she'd been wearing for quite a while. It was pretty much melted. And she said that the breathing around here is quite hard, and a lot of riders are saying that the density of the air is quite harsh. A lot of riders saying it's strange, like you don't feel it on your legs, you feel it on your lungs and your heart. It really feels demanding. And Kat Ferguson saying also to me that in terms of you need to have managed to acclimatise. If you've not acclimatised, you're going to have all sorts of problems today as this race goes on.
We'll see them go by here after kilometer 13.6.
So the riders then onto this descent down towards the next climb of the day. Australia taking a little bit of control at the front. 63k an hour, and it looks quite steady at the front of this race right now. Everybody just checking over at everyone, making sure, seeing who's there. Everybody is tucked in the place they need. Chinese rider at the back. This is Zhao Qing. Another Ugandan rider starting to dice around at the back, Mary Alepa. Just trying to get any sort of aerodynamics to just stay in there in the wheels for as long as possible. And if you can manage to be in those first 3 rows of riders when we are seeing them spread across the road like this, then in reality, if you can just follow the race going forward, I don't know that we're going to have necessarily big breakaways or anything like that today. It looks like the race is going to basically go from the front. And we'll see just riders disappearing out the back, lap after lap after lap, until we get down to the last few riders who are the last riders standing. 76k an hour. Great Britain taking up position, trying to hold that inside, looking after the interest of their squad. And if Cat Ferguson isn't the rider who ultimately becomes their top rider, they've got Millie Cousins, the British champion, and they've got Imogen Wolfe as well. And Imogen Wolfe is a rider who will be certainly there at the front of this race if she's having a good day. Onto the cobbles for the first time. You also need that little bit of luck on this particular climb too. We saw the other day where riders, in particular the British rider Erin Boothman, had just the foot come out and that was game over as far as the time trial medal was concerned. Imogen Wolfe of Great Britain, who rode the Tour de France Femme, she was also in support of the win of Pauline Ferrand-Prévot. So there's real strength in the depth of the British team as Selma Lange comes back, trying to ride her way back into the group. Being dropped there is the Bolivian rider, that is Sara Torrico. Chinese rider being dropped. Great performance here by this German rider. Look at how strong she is today. So Selma Lange trying to come back, 22 years of age, German rider, rides for the Spa CTO team. She just rode the Tour de l'Avenir as well, so the Tour of the Future is a men's version and a women's version now. She had some good experience of riding that race. Had a top 25 place on the stage. The Rwandan rider going out the back. Unfortunately, looks like her time in the race is over. Little groups of riders you can see just dropping, and the German rider desperately trying to come back. You can see she's almost there now. Oh, the two Kazakhstan riders not having a good day either. Kaskarova and Skylarova are gone. On Shimano neutral service car. Looking after these riders as much as possible. One of the Australian riders, Ali Anderson, she looks like she's not enjoying this climb one bit. The other Australian rider though, Talia Appleton, is right on the front. She's there on the left-hand side. Looking good, Talia Appleton. And also being dropped here, the Romanian rider. This is Wendy Brunet. She looks like she's going out the back. Ali Anderson gets a little bit of renewed enthusiasm for getting back into the back of the peloton, and if you can get there, it might be that you're just having a bit of a harsh start to the race. Right at the moment you can see there. And this rider going out the back now, the Romanian rider, Wendy Brunet, she's gone. One of the Rwandan riders, Yara Rukundo. Had a good time trial the other day, number 46. She looked good. Talia Appleton. Also being dropped here, the Romanian rider. This is Wendy Brunet. Talia Appleton, 9th in the Oceania Continental Championships. She looks very strong on this particular climb. Finished 3rd overall in the Tour de l'Avenir Femme. So she had a good race behind Isabella Holmgren and Marion Bunel. There's a moment then where the riders now are relaxing. over the top. Kat Ferguson sitting right at the back of the group there when she got to the top. Is she hiding? It's a little bit risky with the amount of gaps that are getting opened potentially. We are wondering whether Kat Ferguson's got a little bit of sickness, because a couple of us have kind of spoken to her and realised she just sounds like she might have a little bit of a cold, but then a lot of people here have got colds, which is strange. It's 28 degrees and it's warm and sunny. Problem for one of the Australian riders right on the back of the group. She's got her hand up. She's looking for a team car. It'll take a little bit of time for the team cars to come up though. So a more compact peloton already after lap number 1. It's thinned out. They've got rid of some of the riders they didn't want to have in there. And it looks like this Rwandan rider is going to come back into the race, which is really good news for Rwanda. Just got to stay in a slipstream if you can. It's easier said than done, but it's taken an eternity for this Australian rider to get any sort of service. Immediately she puts her hand up. She should be getting some sort of assistance. It's finally getting a bit of attention. I've just heard on Radio Tour. It's taken a long time to outline that she needs assistance. Coming up then to complete lap number 1. Looks like it's taken us 23 minutes a lap. So across the line for the first time, they go past my commentary box, and it is Luxembourg and Australia right on the front of the race. Also Poland, so Felicity Wilson-Hafton, Malwina Mull, Tess Mormon, Marie Schreiber, all at the front of the race. So is Tabia, Victoria Schladnova, Jenia Francis, Barbara Nemkova, Eli Shaw, Imogen Wolf, Veronica Vassity, Celia Giry are the riders who are right in the front of this peloton right now. And here's the mechanical Australian team. Getting some ice down her back. Great move there by the Soigneur, looking after her. So this is Mackenzie Coupland. Soigneur, great to be there in the pits and actually think about the rider and think, okay, what does she need right? My rider is here, so I've got a chance to look after her. That just shows how these soigneurs, or in essence carers, look after these riders. In particular today is so important. Not too much chance to go back to team cars, get ice and all that sort of thing, but that was a nice little move by the Australian soigneur there at the side of the road. The question is, can Mackenzie Cooper get to the cars? She looks around. Comes from Calamundo in Australia. She's going to look for the team car. And hopefully she'll get herself back into the race or get somewhere closer. Rides for the Liverlula Jayco Continental team, but she's going to move to the World Tour team in 2026, Mackenzie Coupland. Australia getting a little bit of a warning by the connoisseurs right now. One lap completed, 7 laps of racing to go. I wonder if we did a little bit of a poll this afternoon. How many riders are going to end up in this front group by the end? A chance then to see one of the American riders on the right hand side. Belgium represented on the left hand side with Thies Moorman. Belgium have got some opportunity here to take a medal, no doubt whatsoever. They've got a good squad. And here's the arrival back of Mackenzie Coupland. She's ridden well, got herself back into the race convoy, and she's about to rejoin. She just caught the back of the race, that black car. Just rides her way past it. The judges have been fair in that they haven't created a barrage. Mackenzie Coupland is back. So no major attacks yet. Time, just looking to see how many riders were left in the front group when we went across the line. Looks like 30. More riders coming back. They've rejoined after their chase. 2 Ugandan riders come back into the peloton. And the race radio tour has just reminded team managers they're not allowed to pace their riders back into the race. I thought they might say that. Massive number of fans on the side of this road. It's a proper party atmosphere here at Kigali this afternoon. We're not even at the weekend yet and it looks like this. What the riders have also been saying is while they're out riding, just the number of bands like this and drums and everything else that goes with it around the circuit. That's what they've just got used to while they're just out on their reconnaissance. I don't know if you saw the social media of Urshka Zegard and Tadej Pogacar yesterday, but it's a wonderful shot of them out on their bikes. And one of the local delivery guys, who looks like he's delivering milk or something, comes flying past on his bike with his 2 canisters on the back and goes up the road past Tadej and Urshka out training. It was such a lovely shot to see. I'm surprised these barriers are holding all these people. So we're working our way around the course again, heading towards the next climb of the day at Kigali Golf. Canada taking up position on the front again. It's this corner that presents a few issues. Chinese riders not having the best moments through some of the corners, unfortunately. Canada on the front of the race. It's Janaya Francis who leads the field right now for Canada. That's confirmation of the Canadian team. Francis, Holmgren, Laverne and Thomas. Holmgren we've talked about a little bit. One of the out-and-out race favourites for this World Championship. It would be an amazing moment if Canada could take that title. In the past, as we went through earlier, Lee Fisher-Black was the winner in 2022, Blanca Vass in 2023, Puck Pizza in 2024. Other medalists include Fife Georgie, the silver medalist in 2022. Ricardo Baumfeind was the bronze medalist that time. Sharon Van Anrooy was the silver medalist in 2023. Last year it was Neve Bradbury took silver and Antonia Nedermeyer took the bronze medal. So all big names in the women's peloton now who have been medalists, all title winners in this race. Nicely manicured, Kigali golf course. Glad the golfers don't think we're disturbing their afternoon. 18-hole golf course, located in Kigali, 65 hectares, and it is pretty hilly, of course. It kind of mirrors the land of 1,000 hills. In total, 6,500 metres long, 18-hole golf course, and you've got an amazing view of the rolling hills beyond. It's so close to the Kigali centre as well, that golf course. Inside the magic 100 kilometres to go, 98.2 kilometres remain. Welcome along. This is the UCI Under 23 Women's World Road Race Championship. Things are settling down now. There was a bit of a rush at the start. Now everybody seems to be content and composed with where they are. Now getting ready and getting used to the various climbs that are coming up. It's a huge amount of elevation. I think 119 kilometres and you'll take 2,500 metres nearly. So if you transform that into a long Tour de France stage, a 238 kilometre Tour de France stage, for example, that's nearly 5,000 metres of climbing. This is a big day out. There's the lineup of Great Britain, all there on the right-hand side. Our Chinese riders got back in, Chao Qing. Finding this quite hard, she is. Eritrea represented, Annalisa Chalasi, Eritrean rider wearing number 30 on the outside. And now we get the first move. The first attack of the day comes from Julie Begaud. France really want to make this race extremely tough for their climbers, because they have the best climbers in this field. Well, certainly some of the top 5 climbers in the world in this field. Julie Begaud made life hard then. Wearing the colours of France, 20 years of age. Remember that Julie Begaud is a former world champion as a junior. The Canadian team nullified it, so did Great Britain. The team of Czechia move up. That's the team in that blue with the red and white, a lighter blue than France. Sophie Kopecki and Barbara Nemkova are the 2 Czech riders. Again, Rwanda just hanging on the back. Going out the back now, unfortunately, is Gwen Nota. 18 years of age, for Luxemburger, finding life a little bit hard in there. Just rode the Tour de France, the Tour de l'Avenir actually. And teammate is right at the front, Marie Schreiber there, and that red-coloured kid on the left-hand side. Doesn't look like it's going to be a day for Kazakhstan either. Smilarova has just gone out the back, 20 years of age. For the team were born to win BTC City Ljubljana. Conversation going on here. Julie Bego and Celia. I wonder if they're riding for Marion Brunel in this race. It seems that way. In the field this afternoon, in terms of top-level representation of squads, Wiesmann Leasebike have 4 riders. Wolf, Brunel, Schladnova and Riedman. Cup Repsol have Sander, Söderqvist and Kajavi, 3 riders from that. The Black Mamba development squad, that's the development team of Armani Racing. I've got Alepa, Nero Kundo and Warmu, there and there. Lidl Trek have 3 riders, in fact 2, because one of them didn't start. So they've got Holmgren, they've got Wilson Hafferman. Movistar have 3 with Ferguson and 2 Rui Perez. Picnic Post NL have Londono and Chiabocco. Phoenix and Koenig have Perkins and Cousins, 2 of the British riders. And then Liverpool Jaco have their women's continental team, have Koopman and Weiss. We get to the feed. UAE Team ADQ have 2 riders in Blasi and Ivanchenko. SD Works have Kopecky and Schreiber. So yeah, a lot of different top-level squads are represented in this race this afternoon. The Luxemburger comes back. Fast into this corner. This is the corner that some people are finding a little bit tricky. Steady tempo through that corner. Rukundo is back in here for Rwanda. We're starting to move up the field, and cycling's funny. Like, you can have a really bad moment and you can either sit up completely and go, or you can't hang in, fight your way back, get in, and then suddenly the body almost kind of opens up and says, oh, I'm all right now, I'm fine, let's just keep riding. So you just have to kind of believe in yourself. Okay, through terrible pain, then you don't want to do that. But if you can just deal with it and think, okay, I'll push through, I'll be okay. Actually, cycling's a funny sport, in that you can suddenly feel miles better than you did. And then for the peloton, Canada, still riding this tempo, still maintaining the pace at the front and looking pretty strong. It's amazing how a team can ride when they have someone to ride for that they really believe in. And they really believe in Holmgren to win this race this afternoon. So every 15 kilometres we're going to hit the climbs. Not far away from the next climb of the day. We'll be coming to Kiminharura in a moment. Just working our way back on Sonica Clopper. Doesn't want to be there right now, that's not a good place to be. Getting ready for the cobbles very, very soon. Big swoop into that turn. And we're on to the cobbles for the second time. There's your statistics on the right, 11% at the bottom. You really need to be in the right position into that left-hander, so it shaves the speed off, and then you need to just keep your pace going over this 11% gradient. Gary Aleppa finding it a little tough. Canada looking good. Still hello. To England down and Clements, thanks Clements for cheering on the riders this afternoon. So Canada, who are being cheered on by people like Clements this afternoon as they make their way up this climb. They really do believe that they can win this race. Look at the way they're riding. Painful here at the back. Laura Ruiz Perez is going out back. Number 12 looks like she's having a bad day. Just trying to stay in a small gear, keep the momentum going. It's funny when you talk to people around the race, how so many are saying that they can't push the power that they normally push. And therefore, if you've always ridden to power, then you're going to have a big problem. And Eli Shaw is going out as well for Great Britain. They're going to lose a rider, the less experienced of the rest of the riders. Imogen Wolf, Flora Perkins, Millie Cousins and Kat Ferguson. Just got to believe and hang on. But yeah, if you ride to power all the time, this course is not for you. This Canadian squad, a real show of strength right now on the front of this peloton in that red and white kit. Look at this shot. Doesn't this look like a Continental Classic? That shot of the riders bumping their way over the cobbles. The green, the left and the right. The fans peering over the barriers. It feels almost like we're in March or April. Talking to some of the motorbike camera pilots and camera ops just before start. Oh, and a problem here. Ali Anderson. Ali Anderson doesn't like this climb either. It's going to suffer. Number 22, Garzon of Colombia, also getting out the back. Well, Canada continue with this pace that they are setting. One rider desperately trying to fight to just get to the back of the race. She was looking good for Reba Hashmi earlier. Right on the back of the group, number 20, Jasmine Laverne, trying to get herself back in there to help him out. And going out the back as well, Ella Sabo of the USA, and also Sadie Van Sinne, which is a little surprise too. She has been dropped. She rides for the team of Phoenix to Koenig Development. Young rider, 20 years of age. We're coming up then to complete another lap. Small group of riders are left. Now this bunch has really thinned down on that lap. Julie Bego right in the middle, sitting down, just trying to keep the momentum going forward. Canada left side. Team of Australia looking good. Colombia represented. Everybody looking for a little bit of food. 48 minutes of racing have gone by. Average speed for the moment for this current championship is a steady 36.5 kilometers an hour. They've covered about 700 meters of climbing. Nara Albert has just abandoned for Spain. End of lap number 2. 6 laps of racing to go. 48 minutes of racing. This race still to really boil up. The pits are positioned just to my right hand side. Australian Swannier is good at handling bottles, hasn't she? Oh, the traditional dances, the drums, the entertainment. Here in Kigali. Riders are left in there now. Maybe 40, 45 riders potentially. Still another problem here. And this is Mackenzie Copeland again, has got a problem. She's not having a lucky race so far. Checking down, something isn't right. She's got a rear wheel puncture, we think. Yep, that's going down, that's gone soft. Thanks very much for joining us. There's the average speed, just over 35 kilometers an hour. Everybody looking for some sort of vantage point to get to the barriers and watch this bike race. If you'd like to be in touch this afternoon at Ant McCrossan, don't forget to follow at UCI_cycling. As we look at the front of the peloton, a little bit of a changing of the guard. Mackenzie Copeland has got a problem. Now, she's going to have an issue as well if she has a wheel change, because what she did last time was get a little bit of help from the team, which is normally not a problem, but the commissaires have made an issue over Radio Tour and said, do not bring your riders back towards the convoy. Big chase going on now. It's a really bad wheel change for Australia, unfortunately, because look how far out of the convoy they've got. could have done with doing this right at the back. I don't actually, on the radio tour, I'm not hearing the calls quickly for the riders who are signalling. And it means that they're being dropped, and they really should be on the back of this peloton until the team car comes up and gets them a wheel, and then they get back in a convoy. And right now, it's problematic. Marie Schreiber looking for a bottle for Luxembourg. My screen's telling me there's 68 riders in that group, but I don't believe it. Maybe there will be by the time they all reform. Coming up to the front then is Zadie van Signé. She's done exactly the right thing. She's gone from being dropped to going right to the front to put herself back in position. Marie Schreiber comes back into the race. And a return of another Australian, Ali Anderson, who also was suffering there. Now it's up at 29 degrees. These riders are going to have to be very careful to take on enough food and drink. In particular, hydration this afternoon is going to be key. They will have been hydrating in preparation for this race, but you've got to get everything right this afternoon in order to be the world champion. Canada back on the front. A lot of the pacemaking has been done by Janaya Francis. The Canadian team really looking strong. They believe in Isabella Holmgren. Janaya Francis, who lives in Girona, rides with the Wind Space team. Canada getting more and more women riders into their programme. Canada taking back over. They dropped back through the group at the end of lap 2, but now they're back on the front. And this Canadian squad is a squad that's getting some good guidance, in particular from Caroline Canuel, a rider who of course rode at the very top World Tour level with alongside the likes of Anna van der Breggen and others in the team, so she's given them some guidance. She took the team to Watersley in Holland to do a spring project with them early this year, and you can just tell that they've got their knowledge and their tactics right for this race so far. Canada looking good. This crowd is absolutely immense. Well, Australia also represented here. Misty Wilson-Haffenden is having a good race so far. She's there on the right-hand side as they come into this next corner again. Riders leaving on the inside. Jerry seems to love that little corner. Kind of almost dive bombs her way onto the inside. Great Britain taking up position again up towards the front in that white kit with the blue shorts. 57 of the riders in this field don't have a professional win. Another big group of riders coming back. In particular there at the rear is RWANDA. I think this rider from Rwanda is actually very strong and just needs that ability to just stay in the right place in the peloton, because to me she's still, if you look the way she's riding, those legs have not gone yet. She's just losing up on the climbs a little bit, and she doesn't really have, I think she's got one other teammate in there. Still Rwanda have got riders being represented, so they're doing a good job so far. Mikazi is still in there, number 44. So Rwanda still, at this point in the race, have got riders still who are in contention. Mikazi rode the Tour de l'Avenir. Finished 47th, top 50 in the general classification. She's won a race in France, the Challenge Group RWANDA. And this is RWANDA. Claudette is still riding. She just needs to find the confidence to just move up the peloton a little bit, so she's not left into these corners where she drops off the back and then has to work so hard to get herself back on. She's clearly a strong rider. Her teammate is a bit further up. She's in the World Cycling Centre team. She joined the World Cycling Centre in August, so she's part of that programme. 21 years of age. She's just a little bit further up. You can tell she's sitting right in the midst of the peloton. A train rider coming back there in that red and blue coloured kit. Selassie. Number 63 in the middle from Argentina, Delfina Di Bella. Now that for me is one of the most classy cycling kits there is right now. The Argentina kit is basically, for me, the 1982 World Cup football kit. So 1982, I'm pretty sure it was. It's so cool to see it. They normally go with kind of a turquoise blue kit, but to me, they've really got that nailed. The 1982 kit was manufactured by Le Coq Sportif, who used to be the sponsors of the Tour de France yellow jersey at one point. You can see her over there on the left-hand side, wearing number 63, Argentina across the back, black shorts, white turquoise jersey with the stripes. Classy. Canada back on the front again. Tino Jerry, left-hand side as we look. Being dropped again this time is short Great Britain. Isabella Holmgren. Another problem for Spain as the other Ruiz Paris, Lucia, is dropped. The riders then on this climb again. We reach the top with 81.4 kilometers to go. This is Elizaveta Holland. Really struggling on this climb now. So we reach the top of the climb again, 81.4 kilometers to go. And going out the back is again Nyarakundo. So calm at the front, isn't it? Misty Wilson after moves up on the right hand side. This is where we are, to give you an idea of where we are on the circuit. So we come down, we do that little loop around, onto the climb and then back through the finish line. Natalia Gazon, Colombian time trial champion, as you can see there, takes a bottle. Our next climb of the day at Kimihurura, we reach the top of that shortly with 76.6 kilometers to go. It seems to me like there's kind of a race for the two climbs at the moment, and this is the rider who crashed a little while ago, Usu of Benin, being comforted a bit here at the finish line. She's very upset. I'm not surprised. It was a pretty hefty fall. Just cannot be comforted at all. Maybe such a massive moment, isn't it? To be riding the World Championships. This is the area on the course in the pits where the riders, after so many laps, will start to see riders appear there, particularly in the lead races. It tends to happen, and the riders will make their way back to that pits area. That's where the teams are assembled, and that's where they will drop out of the race if they're not unable to keep with the tempo that's been set by the front of the peloton itself. Isabella Holmgren seems to be intent on just staying right at the front, showing that she's strong. Whether that's the best idea or not, I don't know. Well, it remains to be seen whether that is the good tactic. She's clearly incredibly strong. She kind of towers over this peloton, doesn't she? She looks very composed, very controlled. She dominated the Tour de l'Avenir. She won 3 stages, winning into Team and the prologue. She won into into La Rosière, and then she won the individual time trial in La Rosière as well. Winning the mountains and only finishing 9th in the. She's always got a teammate just in front of her. She's there in case anybody attacks. She's so controlled about how this race is being played out. I wonder when the first big attack will happen. We already saw Julie Begaud come to the front. She put the tempo up a little bit. But apart from that, not these all-out big attacks, groups of riders going away. That hasn't happened, and I think it's unlikely to happen. I think it's more of a pattern of ride hard, get riders out the back. When the race really comes on, then it will be the top 10 riders who are in the fight. They've been looked after by their team, been in position all day, and we'll just see how it actually ends up. So one rider is out for the Canadian squads. Done everything she can to look after the rest of the team. Great Britain now taking control. And onto the cobbles again. So the abandon now of Vanette Osu, as we've seen. Monique Duplessis of Namibia. Annabelle Thomas was the Canadian we just saw there, who's now out of the race. Kimahurura, climb again. Holmgren goes to the front, pushes the pace. All the kids are out. Down the side of the road. Enjoying the atmosphere and creating the atmosphere. Going out the back again, unfortunately, is Narara Kundo. She's got dropped on this climb every single time. Also the Colombian trouble. This is Garzon. And yet again in trouble, the American who keeps coming back into the race is Ella Sabo. But Holmgren is very happy in that red and white kit to push the pace and really keep this momentum going and putting riders in difficulty. Tony Van Sine again is distanced. It's so hard the way that this race is being played out. 36.2 kilometres an hour is the average speed. Top of the climb is 76.6 kilometres from the finish. The Argentinian rider is also distanced. Maybe I mentioned a kit too much on that run into that cobbled section. But Isabella Holmgren, she refuses to be intimidated by anybody. Look at the way she rides. Sorry about the little bit of pixelation, but she's there. The Cameroon rider is out of the race. This is Therese Oboloma. And again being dropped is Ali Anderson. It's Talia Appleton who's at the front. Talia Appleton is the Australian who's been looking strong alongside Holmgren all day so far. An hour and 10 minutes of racing, no attacks, it's just attrition. Holmgren must be so confident after that Tour de l'Avenir win that she's literally just happy to ride everybody off her wheel. Fusty Wilson Atherton, who won a world title yesterday, she's now being dropped. Great Britain are about to see a rider go out the back, but this rider from Canada, Isabella Holmgren, is dominating the front of this peloton. Going out the back now is Ungarova of Slovakia. She's now distanced as well. If you can hang as close to the back of this peloton as you can, stay near the convoy, then you do have an opportunity to come back into the race. The average speed then, 36.2 kilometres an hour. 43 kilometres of racing covered. Still it's Canada, France, Australia, Great Britain, Sweden and Slovakia all at the front of this peloton. Switzerland with some representation in there as well, and still Kat Ferguson decides to sit right on the back in the slipstream and has done nothing about being near the front. Ferguson said to me, it's all attrition, you need a bit of luck, and that's about it. Going out the back now is Flora Perkins. Perkins can't go with the pace either. Felicity Wilson-Huffington is with her. Maybe those two can work together to get back into the race. Also distanced is Marie Schreiber of Luxembourg. It's so difficult, that cobbled section, that riders are just getting shaken and thrown out the back. Also dropped is Tabea Weiss of Austria. Little group of riders coming back in. We're going to cover another lap. This time round we'll have 5 laps of racing to go. So Talia Appleton left-hand side, Isabella Holmgren right-hand side of her as we look. Celia Jarry in that black helmet of France in the middle. Over on the right-hand side, Belgium still represented. Marion Brunel is the French rider on the yellow bike with the yellow helmet. Laura Perkins and her group coming back with Marie Schreiber. Schreiber in that red coloured kit, a fantastic cyclocross rider. And we arrive then after 1¼ hours of racing with 5 laps to go. Sweden still there with 2 riders, Stina Kagavi and Karen Söderqvist. Wilson-Huffington fights her way back into the wheels. She's not enjoyed that cobble climb in the time trial or in this race at all. Peloton makes his way through. All fuel being taken on board by Millie Cousins of Great Britain. The riders come past, and they've got 5 laps of racing to go in this World Championship.
So they're calling it at 26 riders in that lead group.
26 riders now in the lead group. This has completely been decimated.
Those are the 2 French riders, Talia
26 riders after 3 laps of racing. How many riders are going to be left? Oh, big problem here for the Swedish rider, Karen Söderqvist.
I think the rider from Argentina. Yep.
Needs to get going as quickly as possible. Stay in the convoy.
Seconds off the pace. Seconds off the pace.
Söderqvist gets going again. Söderqvist, 22 years of age. Almost for Coop Repsol. He's got a contract with them until the end of 2027. So it's Stina Kagavi at the front in the colours of Sweden, that blue and yellow kit. Laura Escapers there, Isabella Holmgren, Celia Jarry, Justina Chapler of Germany, Talia Appleton of Australia, Millie Cousins of Great Britain, Julie Bego of France, Eleonora Giapocco of Italy, Selma Latch of Germany, Skladnova of Slovakia, Londonov of Colombia, Mull of Poland, Nemkova of the Czech team, Söderqvist was at the front, then dropped. 26 riders in that front group. Great recovery by Karen Söderqvist. Back in the race, didn't panic, rode very well indeed to get herself back into the wheels as quickly as possible. She's ridden a lot of races this season. all over the world. Ridden in the Czech Republic, ridden in Spain, ridden in France, in Sweden, in Portugal. Even ridden some gravel races in Sweden. So Canada have lost one rider. Just look and see if Rwanda riders in here. Mwamakazi was, by the looks of things, maybe just coming back, number 44. And I can't see her here yet. Good afternoon to Miriam and David. Thanks for watching. I'm glad you're able to watch with us this afternoon. Just want to mention about the American riders and Megan Jastrab, who rides, of course, for the team of Picnic Post NL, an Olympian. She's an American rider, and she understood that the American riders weren't able to get here. So she didn't just sit back being an elite rider and thinking, oh well, never mind. She did her own crowdfunding to try and bring the American riders here. She wanted to raise around about $15,000 to enable that to happen. She raised the money. The American riders are here, the American youngsters are here, and it just shows how a rider at that sort of level of racing can make such a massive difference. Well done to Megan Jastrab. This is Hashmi of Afghanistan. Had a difficult moment a little while ago, but she's now back in there. She tries to move her way up. Decides to sprint around the outside. Is this going to be the first attack of the day? And it is. Hashmi has decided time to light this race up. This is our major move by any rider. Fariba Hashmi of Afghanistan. Immediate reaction from Julie Bego. This rider's incredibly strong. And Bego closes it off and says, don't even bother. Shuts it down, closes the road with Isabella Hongren, and Hashmi's going nowhere. What a reaction from France. Well, it just shows the strength of the bigger teams in here, deciding that no, we're not prepared to let you do anything today. And Fariba Hashmi is an attacking rider. She rides currently for the Saratizit Pro Cycling team. She's a stage winner in the Tour of the Ardèche. She's the Afghanistan Road and Time Trial champion. It is a party on these corners, isn't it? Normal service resumes. Canada on the front of the peloton. These bunch races capturing the imagination of the fans at the side of the road. Taking the next turn, heading towards the next climb of the day. We're going to reach Kigali Golf. 67.1 kilometres. It's not too far away until we reach there again. It's just this corner where some riders like to dive bomb. Hashmi is still up above at the front and still wants to try and get involved in some sort of action. Hello to the couch peloton. Hello to Mansfield Empty Buller Cycling Club. That must be Mount Buller, mustn't it? Cycling Club. Hello to you. Thanks very much for your messages, and I hope you're enjoying the racing. Let's see how Talia, which I hope I'm pronouncing now right, is going to do for Australia. And the rest of the Australian riders coming back into the race at the back is Ali Anderson, who's having one of those yo-yo days. America, the USA, still represented right-hand side of the road. We're starting to come down now where this peloton with what was originally 26 riders at the beginning of this lap may well come down to sort of 20 riders by the end of the next lap. And it starts then to become really a fight for survival, and the strong survive till the end. It's amazing that Kat Ferguson has literally sat right at the back of this group the entire time. She has done nothing. I guess it's her way of dealing with the pressure of everyone thinking that she is the race favourite. She just now and then she moves up. Doesn't seem to want to waste any energy whatsoever, the 19-year-old Briton. She's had some amazing results this year, hasn't she, already? Taking victories, stage win in the Tour of Britain, won the points classification, finished second overall, 7th on a couple of stages of Vuelta, 3rd in Trofeo Binda at the beginning of the season. The only problem with sitting somewhere near the back is if riders get more and more tired, more mistakes start to get made. Now we can see Kigali Golf Climb starting to rear up in front. It doesn't always tell you exactly how hard this climb is. It is difficult. We have seen a couple of little moves on this particular rise so far, for those of you just joining us now. Julie Beggo moves to the right-hand side as we look. Yet again, she is the rider that France are using to control everything. So clearly it's not a day for Julie Beggo to be the winner of this race. It's all about, I think, Marion Brunel. As we look out over Kigali, it's the main city of Rwanda. People are starting to discover now, having been here for a few days, different restaurants and different cafes. Lots of the riders are finding good cafes in Kigali. Of course, it's well known for its tea and for its coffee. Surrounded by the national parks. The American rider on the back there, Mia Hazeltine, number 50. And the Argentinian rider's got back in as well. Number 47 on the right-hand side, Tabea Huis. And having reached the climb now, in about 400 metres, let's see whether there is any damage going to be done. Veronika Wasati is also in here for Poland. She's just been hiding pretty much all day. She hasn't shown any near the front. 9th on the stage of the Tour de Feminin. She just rode the Tour de l'Avenir as well. Felicity Wilson-Hatford in the colours of Australia on the left-hand side, doing what is right, going to the front and then drifting back. Isabella Holmgren on the right-hand side as we look, with Schladnova making a little bit of an acceleration. Is she getting a little bit carried away for Canada, riding so much on the front today, or is she so confident of her ability that she knows she can win? Whoops, cramp for Hashmi. She's not happy at all. She was attacking a few moments ago. But it is one of those days, 29 degrees, it's really hot. Very heavy atmosphere, where if you're not fueled properly, you don't have your hydration right, you're not taking the right electrolytes on board, you will have cramp problems. Number 63, Dibella, a chance for us to see that Argentinian kid. She goes out the back. Felicity Wilson-Hatford trying desperately every little tactic she knows to stay in this race. Her experience is showing here. She's gone from the front to the back. She knows if she can get over the top, accelerate, she'll get back on. She's with Marie Schreiber every single time. Marie Schreiber wearing number 32. It was nice yesterday to bump into Brian Nugent, who's now the head of the Luxembourg Federation in terms of sporting performance. He used to be the head of Ireland. He built the Irish programme that they had that progressed so well for so many years. In particular, he based all the riders in Mallorca, and they built an infrastructure and they got more and more results. I remember seeing Ireland as just a couple of road riders really, with Nicholas Roach, Dan Martin and Phil Dygan at the time. Ivchenko going out the back now, but Brian Nugent and his team built that. Eventually he left. He's now in Luxembourg looking after the Luxembourg programme. They're hoping to build a track. They of course have got the support of people like Andy and Frank Schleck in that particular small country. So they're doing everything they can now to build that programme. It was nice to see Brian yesterday and find out what he was up to. Just to see him across the world at so many different events, in particular on the track. So they're over the top of the climb. This is Valganen, who's gone as well, Valeria Valganen. Our average speed is 35.5. Hand up for number 83, and that's Samsonova. Wants a bottle from the soigneur. Looking for the soigneur at the side of the road. Whoops, wasn't quite ready, was she? I'm always amazed to see a soigneur not ready at the side of the road when the peloton's coming through. It's again the Canadian riders. We've been saying this all day, in position, front of the race. Still maintaining this tempo. They've obviously decided make it hard enough that no one wants to attack. The USA are still represented by Sarkisov and Sabo. In fact, it looks like, yep, both those riders are in there. In fact, it's Azultine and Sarkisov who are in there for the USA. There they are, both at the back. It doesn't really matter if you're able to comfortably ride, and now where it's thinned down significantly, just keep yourself out of trouble. Don't get involved in any crashes or anything like that that may happen. And then when the right time occurs, just don't miss the move that will ultimately happen. Sonikasov is sitting right on the back, 21 years of age, from the USA. Rode well in the Tour de l'Avenir, finished 7th on a stage into Val Thorens. Predominantly rode the beginning of the season in America before she moved over to Europe. One of the Egyptian riders. This is Maria Darwish. She had a hard race yesterday. The Argentinian rider coming back, and also Ali Anderson. What a job she's doing. Every time she can, she comes back into the race. It's all you can ask. Your country can just say, we'd like you to ride for us, and all you can do is give everything you can and feel that you got to the end. Doesn't matter if you had a bad day or a good day, that you just feel like you left everything out here. And this rider, number 37, Ali Anderson, certainly has, because she's never given up any time she's been dropped, and she just keeps coming back into the race. If she can just do one little thing for Talia Appleton, if she can come back into the race and do anything yet for Talia Appleton, then she's done everything she can. More riders are now out. This is Florence Nakagawa. We're heading towards the end of this lap. It will be the midway point in this World Championship. The nations are all represented, and they are doing everything they can. The fans are out cheering on the Belgian squads and other nations here at the side of the road. As always, the Belgians will be the loudest. Back onto the cobbles again, and it looks like the Italian squad have decided to up the pace a little bit. Don't talk much about them at all today. They've only got one rider in Eleonora Cirbocco, and she's there, and she's looking good in the Maglia Azzurra, the blue jersey of Italy, and yet again, Holmgren decides to up the pace. Oh, you can feel almost the legs, the pain of that rider. Cirbocco, left-hand side, second row, rides for the team of Picnic Post NL. Some mini world champions around the course. Cirbocco's got a contract with Picnic Post NL to the end of 2028. She's just dived back into the group. Oh, and I think Delfina De Bella's legs are finally failing, that this race might be over. Marie Schreiber also can't go with the pace. Marie Schreiber just trying to keep some sort of momentum going forward. Every time she gets to this cobble climb, she disappears. The strong riders are now appearing at the front. Going out the back again, Wilson Haffenden. Oh, and this is a massive surprise. Kat Ferguson doesn't have it today, so she's been sitting on the back. We thought she might be a little bit sick, and Ferguson is being dropped. The race favourite cannot stay with the tempo, and this is a massive surprise. Ferguson just cannot stay with the momentum that's being set. She's with Flora Perkins. She's looked comfortable on the back, but it's probably that actually that feeling of being a little bit sick is not her day. When I was talking to her before the race start, she sounded like she had a cold, and I didn't want to ask entirely because you don't want to, 10 minutes from the race start to put doubt in a rider's mind. Ferguson just doesn't have the legs today, unfortunately. And this is a massive surprise. One at the front of the race now. Ferguson just cannot stay. The pace has been dictated all day by Isabella Holmgren. She's been the rider who has taken this race on for Canada, and she has dictated every single move that's happened. So have France with Julie Begaud. Well, riders are human, aren't they? And Ferguson today just is not going to be the rider across the line first by the looks of things. The midway point, and this course is taking now some prisoners. Ferguson just doesn't have the legs today, unfortunately. Now it's Ciabolco of Italy. So Great Britain will need to turn their attention to another rider, and that may well have been the plan. Imogen Wolf is still in there, but I think they've only got one rider left, and maybe Miller Cousins is there too. This is a relentless and brutal course today. It really is. It asks all sorts of questions. Ferguson is in all sorts of pain. You can see that etched on her face. And Ferguson today just is not going to be the rider across the line first by the list of things. The midway point, and this course is taking now some prisoners. Flora Perkins looks around. Can she get Ferguson back on? But for how long? That is the question. So Great Britain will need to turn their attention to We've reached the top of the climb again. Holmgren is still sitting so comfortably. There's hardly any riders left in this group. Look at that. How many riders are left? I think I make it 24 riders at the front of this race. 24 riders and an attack here at the front, and I think this might be Schreiber who's decided she needs to try and stay there. She's got herself back in. You can always tell when a rider is just kind of sitting at a tempo. Ferguson doesn't look like that as she comes up this final straight. So Marie Schreiber leads for Luxembourg. Behind her is Isabella Holmgren. Behind her is Celia Giry, not too far behind. Millie Cousins right hand side. The two Swedish riders in that blue and yellow are still there. Stina Kagavi and Karen Soderquist. Julie Begaud is still there. Marion Brunel is still there for France. Schladnova is in here, no problem at all for her. They cross the line yet again. They've got 4 laps of racing to go in this World Championship. Ferguson is in all sorts of trouble. It looks like it's game over for the British rider. She shakes her head. It's not her day. I wouldn't be surprised if Ferguson gets off this time. She comes past my commentary box and you can see she just visibly is in trouble. At the front of the race that time, Schreiber, Holmgren, Schladnova, Chapler, Jerry, Begaud, Lorita Schepper is up there. Imogen Wolf, Millie Cousins, Eleonora Ciabolco, Barbara Nemkova, Linda Riedman of Germany, Marion Brunel, Selma Lange, Talia Appleton, Karen Soderquist, Stina Kagavi, Paula Blasi, Malwina Mull, Juliana Londono, Mackenzie Copeland is still in there. And now the race gets stretched. This, of course, is going to throw up all sorts of questions. Janai Francis towards the back, number 17. Number 11 is Paula Blasi on the left-hand side for Spain. That dark blue kit with the colours of Spain on the back. 25 is Ties Moorman of Belgium as well. Belgium are well represented in this group of riders. They've still got a couple of riders and a couple of chances. Marie Schreiber's trying to rip this race up a little bit because she's suffering on the climb. She wants a group of riders to go away. So Great Britain have got 3 riders in here. I'm not so sure that's right now, is it? Have they not got 2? Germany with 3, Italy with 1, Spain with 1. You can see there the makeup of this front group of riders, and it's all over the road now. It's all about the strongest surviving. Now an attack. Big move at the front. Germany start to get involved. They haven't got involved at all. And a problem here for Linda Riedman. Gets a bit of help from Paula Blasi, which is nice of her. So as we look down on the peloton, a little bit of a lull for just a moment. Marie Schreiber has tried to make things hard. Schreiber looks around at everybody. This pattern of racing must be a little odd for the World Tour riders, the ones who are riding in the World Tour peloton, because it's just literally been as fast as they can go around the course with no attacks. Now everybody gets into a little bit of a line. Schreiber goes into that aero tuck. I wonder how this race is going to evolve over the coming couple of laps, because we're down to the final 4 laps of racing. 29 degrees, 11 kilometres an hour. The wind has picked up just a little bit. So Julie Begot, for a little bit of food. Computer there in the front, which will give her the readout that she wants. Plenty of gels in that back pocket. And as we look at the front, Czechia have riders. Estonia still represented in here by Elizabeth Ibras. She looks pretty good in there. Kind of a moment for riders just to get some food. Very good help, having a conversation. She's in there. Obviously, I've had a talk to Celia Jury. Moving up, number 8 is Linda Riedman. And the arrival back of Kat Ferguson. Now, has she got the legs to stay there? She just didn't have it that time, and you wonder whether she can recover. They're going to try. Felicity Wilson-Haffenden is back in there as well, number 40 there on the left-hand side, dodging around. She posted on her social media, it was a dream come true yesterday to stand on the podium alongside 2 of her heroes in Brodie Chapman and Amanda Spratt, taking that incredible mixed relay team time trial, which came down to just less than 10 seconds between the top 3. Ferguson on the right hand side then, look, you can see the face. Laura Perkins not happy with what's going on, trying to move forward. Some information which is interesting because we talked a little bit a while ago about Megan Jastrap and her crowdfunding for the American team. So Leah Appleton, I've also heard, crowdfunded and self-funded her venture to come here to these World Championships. She needed to raise the money for flights, travel, accommodation, insurance and everything that went with it. It's time to go out. Well, Van Signé has gone for Belgium. That's a shame. But she has been getting dropped all the time. She's been fighting her way back into the race. So Talia Appleton, she did a crowdfund. She was a late addition to the team. And she hadn't budgeted it for a European racing for 2025. So she tried to raise a total of $8,000 to make it happen, and incredibly, thanks to all the support of Australians and people around the world, she raised $13,500, just under $13,500 to get herself here to Rwanda. So you can understand why Talia Appleton is riding right at the front of this race for Australia, because she probably feels like she has got the support of a lot of people behind her to try and do something in this race. That's quite special. A lot of these nations, this Rwandan Championships has been expensive for them and they've had to be restrictive on who they brought here. For example, tomorrow, the weekend, the Great Britain team don't have an elite women's team here at all. They've had to come here and choose which teams might get medals. This is number 13, Lucia Lourdes Perez, who's abandoned now. Average speed so far, 34.755 kilometres an hour. The peloton's swelling in numbers. France, to me, seem to be riding a clever race. Marion Burnell there, in that yellow bike, number 15. She looks good, but Celia Géry also looks fantastic. It just comes down to how they decide to play it. Looking down again on Kigali Golf, this magnificent golf estate, which the riders are now going to roll past. Now the questions will be asked on this climb as to whether the likes of Ferguson can recover or whether they are just going to have one of those days. We're going to reach the bottom of this at 52 kilometres to go. This group of riders still huddled together. I don't think it's the case that riders are worried about attacking. I think it's more that they are respecting this course, they're respecting the altitude, they understand just how hard it is. So Ferguson comes back to the front. She's got that kind of grimace on her face, like things are not going well. So what's probably happened here for Great Britain is they've changed the plan and they're going with Imogen Wolf. And Ferguson will do another lap and try and at least just help out a little bit. They are all very good friends, this squad. They've grown up together, they've raced together. They've helped each other win titles. You think of Imogen Wolf and Cat Ferguson, who stood on the podium of the World Championships last year in the junior ranks. So they know each other very, very well. Millie Cousins, who's an exceptional rider, good on a course like this, good when it is hard. Over on the right-hand side, the American rider, Mia Hazeltine, she's having a good day as well. She looks very, very comfortable. Switzerland we haven't mentioned too much today. They've still got two riders in there. Leah Huber and Dina Hutter are still there, and they're still riding well. Onto the climb again, Ferguson goes to the front, sets the pace, checks over to her left-hand side, starts to drift a little bit backwards, which is a good tactic for her to just try and stay there for a little while longer. But actually, because everyone knows it's Cat Ferguson, they may not know that she's been out the back. Remember, these riders don't have race radios in. But therefore, when she slows down, they're all slowing down. She's playing a clever game. That's a puppet and a half, isn't it? On the left-hand side is Garzon of Colombia. Number 53 in there is Leah Huber of Switzerland. Yesterday when the riders were on the course, many of them were coming past with random flags tucked in their helmets and in the back of their pockets and all sorts. Two Swiss riders having a good day. They certainly look comfortable in this group. They may produce something this afternoon. Leah Huber runs for the Nexetis team. I was looking at their bikes actually before the race starts, and they are absolutely stunning. Their bikes are very different. I haven't seen them before. The two of them ride for the same squad. And their bikes match their trade team, the continental team, Nexetis. The under-23 road race champion of Switzerland is Nina Hutter. They're just hiding, they're riding a clever race so far. Shagnova of Slovakia to me looks very comfortable, doesn't she? Right in the middle of that picture, with Holmgren still maintaining the pace. Chupolko there on the left-hand side in the blue. Paula Blasi moves up for the team of Spain. And Marie Schreiber looks to be riding better this lap. Wilson Hampton is also there. Now that the pace is dropping a little on this climb, and it looks like riders who previously just couldn't go those little jumps, those little accelerations that were happening. Now they're starting to be able to just get the legs to recover a little bit as we go over the climb yet again. So that's Kigali Golf completed. We now make our way down to Kimihurura. We get there at 47.7 kilometres to go. There's Mia Hazeltine of the USA, time trial silver medalist in the national championships. That's the makeup of the team. There's only 2 of them left in here. Number 52 is Sarkisov, just in the front of our picture, in the Stars and Stripes. Sarkisov, we've talked a little bit about today already, and there's the American team in here, just keeping an eye on their squad, following everything, just trying to will them to the finish. Wilson Hafner goes through, grabs a bottle, or 2 actually, and 2 gels. And that's what the Soigneurs do. They add a bottle with a little band around it, the gel is added. Means the riders are able to be fed nice and easily. Inside the final 50 kilometres of this under-23 World Championship, and Canada still maintain the position they've held for the majority of this race. To the back of the group now is Tess Mormon, having a bad moment for the first time. Let's see how this next climb goes. Last time it tested Cat Ferguson to the limit. She's now got herself back into the race. We'll see how she now responds. Oh, whoa, there was nearly a crash on the left-hand side there. One of the Spanish riders hitting almost Laura de Skepper's wheel. And Laura de Skepper has been riding strongly in here for Belgium so far. She's looked incredibly comfortable. She's in the wheels. Often in a World Championship, we do say, if we haven't seen you until the last couple of laps, that you've done exactly the right thing. This is the Rwanda team, what should we call it, tent I suppose. They're positioned up to my right hand side. I can kind of see across the road. I can see riders who are dropping out of the race. So Laura de Skepper in here, rides for the team of AG Insurance Soudal, the Belgian rider. You'll pick her out with a white helmet with a kind of green across the middle, which is that green stripe that you see on the AG Insurance front of the kit in their logo. Great start to accelerate into that turn that time. Laura de Skepper, stage winner in the Tour de l'Avenir last year. Now this will be an interesting moment because we're on the cobbles. Ferguson has taken up position on the left-hand side as we look. You can see her there. She's starting to drift backwards a little, and I think it will depend on whether there is some sort of acceleration here as to whether Ferguson stays in this group. Felicity Wilson-Haffenden, what a job she's done today. Every single time we get to this climb, this rider gets dropped, and somehow, for half the distance, has got herself back into the race. You cannot fault her commitment to trying to stay there for Australia. 9% gradient now, they're riding at 14 kilometres an hour. And Ferguson still there. Flora Perkins starts to be dropped. 11 kilometers an hour. There is Laura de Skepper on the right-hand side in that white and green helmet, having a little acceleration from Czechia. She's also a stage winner in Chambéry. And being dropped now is Flora Perkins. Here we get the first big acceleration at the front of the race. And this is a moment where everybody needs to start to think, how do they respond to this? So far it's been France who've nullified every single attack. And they do the same thing again. So Celia Jarry is the rider who goes onto the wheel. Holmgren comes across in the red and white colours as well. Schladnova is up there in the colours of Slovakia. So at the front then, it is the Czechia rider. It looks like Kopecky, who starts the acceleration. Celia Jarry, behind her is Holmgren, and Ferguson has gone again. She did what she could, but I think unfortunately for Great Britain, their #1 plan is not going to happen. They need to turn their attention now to the possibility of Millie Cousins or Imogen Shaw winning this race. Now the pace on this climb really has erupted. Kopecky has done some damage now. She really ups the tempo. Also up there, Schladnova. Chiapocco is also there for Italy. Julia Bergo is there. Paula Blasi. Laura de Skepper. Up at the front is Imogen Wolf. So is Millie Cousins. And this group is getting splintered and trying to race across, probably sitting way towards the back at the wrong time, is Marion Brunel. Talia Appleton is also Australia, doing a brilliant job. And this race is going to come down to maybe 20 riders by the end of this lap. Such is the acceleration and the momentum now that we see. Marion Brunel for the first time is grimacing in the colours of France. She is hanging on for dear life at the back of this group, having had to make a big move. The two Swedish riders on the right-hand side, suddenly, they are less composed than they were. The heads are going all over the place. This is a moment in this race where Kopecky, the Czech rider, is making everybody suffer. Celia Jarry, though, looks like she's in cruise mode. Over the top of the climb, 1 kilometre to go to the end of this lap. We'll have 3 laps of race. Oh, crash! Schladnova hits the wheel. Just a touch of wheels. One of the race favourites, Schladnova. Now she needs to get her feet back in those speed plate pedals as quick as possible. She should be okay if she's feeling good. Chiapocco looks around, and now we get the... Julie Bergo decides to try and capitalise on the problem. They don't want Schladnova to come back. She is a big, big problem if she does get back. Across the line this time. 3 laps of racing to go. Julie Bergo goes on the attack. This is the first big move of the race. Holmgren tries to respond. Chiapocco is there. We've only got, what, about 10 riders left in this race now. Maybe 20 riders left. Big acceleration comes from behind as Germany try to get involved. But Bergo is trying to put a few riders to the sword here. She looks around and Schladnova is a few seconds back. Trying to come across them. Kopecky, Chiapocco, also there Celia Jarry. Chiapocco looks like she's under some pressure. Also up there is Chabler of Germany looking comfortable. Marie Schreiber has recovered significantly now on the right-hand side for Luxembourg. Millie Cousins comes back to the wheel as well. Everybody realises that if you want to win this title, you must be near the front now. You leave a gap and it's game over. 3 laps of racing to go. problem for the Colombian. 17 riders at the front. then. Chiabocco, Blasi, Jerry, Appleton is still there for Australia, Kopecky of the Czech team, Holmgren, Descaper, Wolf, Hoover, and that's Friedman, Vego, Schreiber, Chetler, Brunel, Cousins, and Lanch. That's the front group of riders. Schladnova is 5 seconds behind. Bit of ice into the neck. Talia, Appleton, there on the left-hand side. Just a bit of information also. Loretta Hansen, another pro rider, funded Talia Appleton to get to the Tour de l'Avenir through a scholarship supported by the Squadra Cycling Club. So another pro rider at World Tour level, trying her best to get these young riders the experience they need. That's great to hear. Well done to Loretta Hansen and Megan Jastrab, and there's probably others we haven't heard of yet. Kat Ferguson is distanced. She comes across the line now. 1 minute 34 down. It's game over. Marie Schreiber on the front yet again in the colours of Luxembourg. "17 riders, it might swell by 3 or 4. So the nations represented: Italy, Spain, France, Australia, Czechia, Canada, Belgium, Great Britain, Switzerland, Estonia, Germany, Luxembourg, and that's it. And I think Schladnova might well just be getting back at the rear of this group. Schladnova is back, number 28. No problems with the bike either, so she looks like she's spinning well and everything is working the way it should do. Comes another group of riders just trying to get themselves back into this race. In here also is Mackenzie Copeland of Australia. Also at the back is number 52 Sarkisov of the USA. The other Czechia rider is making her way back in as well, Nemkova. So we're getting a swelling of numbers now. Riders at the back just checking bikes, making sure everything is okay. The Swiss rider looks a little bit animated. Some Swiss riders still in here. You wonder whether this is going to come down to just a final sprint up this final climb, or whether someone is going to get away. Here's the makeup, the composition of this front group of riders. Great Britain with 2, Germany with 3. Italy with just Chiabocco. They only have 1 rider in here. Luxembourg still with Schreiber. Estonia represented as well. But there's not many left. The final hour of racing coming up. Selma Lanch is there, number 7, this is Schreiber. That's Melly Cousins. Holmgren goes through. Germany have got all of their riders in here. adjustment of the pedals by Malwina Mull. It's a bit of a moment where everybody's kind of checking who's here, working out what the next move is. France all huddled together towards the back. Swiss rider number 53, Leo Huber, moves across the road, joined by Kagavi of Sweden. That time they were under a bit of pressure. I have to say, number 11 here today of Spain, Paula Blasi, looks incredibly comfortable. Once for UAE Team ADQ. She's had 4 wins in her career, 2 years of age. 12th in the individual time trial the other day, finished 6th in the Tour de l'Avenir, 4th in the Tour of RWANDA. She's a very strong bike rider, Paula Blasi, one of the pre-race favourites. When you look at how she's riding, she looks like she's just tapping the pedals over, no stress, no pressure. It's getting down to the point where there's a number of teams with just one representative. At the back here is Mackenzie Copeland. She had a great Tour de l'Avenir, finished 9th overall. She's had that bike change, she's had another problem, but she's still fighting. This time we're going to get to the bottom of Kigali Golf at 36.9 kilometres of racing to go. Then we go on to Kimarura again at 47.7. Oh, sorry, no, we've already gone through there, haven't we? We go through there at 32.6 next time. So we're getting the last run-ins now into these climbs. We've seen how everybody's ridden them so far. Schreiber doing what she did last time and just accelerating her way out of these turns and making life hard for everybody. Considering she had those bad moments early in the race, she really has recovered. Schreiber stretches this out. She's a fantastic cyclocross rider as well. It's into that aero tuck. That's for the team of SD Works Pro Time. Being a cyclocross silver medalist in the World Championships under 23 this year in Louvain. Very strong rider, multi-discipline Marie Schreiber, ridden mountain bike as well. This year she won one of the rounds of the World Cup in cyclocross in Hulst. So a rider you would expect as this race goes on that Schreiber would get stronger and stronger, and that is becoming the case. Just shows what happens if you have been struggling for a while and then you just get through that bad patch. You're able to now look the way Marie Schreiber is doing. She's the rider to the right-hand side of the first rider on the left, the German rider, in that red-coloured kit, the red helmet, the multi-coloured specialised bike of SD Works. She's now starting to dictate this race the way she wants it to go. Heading to Kigali Golf now, and we're about to hit the bottom of the climb again this time. The climb beckons of Kigali Golf. It's been an interesting race so far. People saying that just this attritional way that this course is ripping the dreams away from people. Potentially is how it might go all weekend. I love the way that around the circuit and all the little communes that they've printed t-shirts with the names of that area on, and then they're dancing and they've got the drums out, they're having parties, all sorts of things going on around this circuit. It's got such a very different feel, and of course that's what we always knew. Let me know who you think might win. @AmpMcCrossan is where you can get hold of me on social media if you would like to. Thank you for all the messages during today's race. Thanks for those little nuggets of information that we didn't know. It all helps to kind of add to everybody's experience. Well, on the right-hand side of the road, moving up yet again, it's Kopecky who really set the pace for the team of Czechia. And Sweden moving up again. Lauren de Scoper of Belgium. She's still maintaining her position. It's interesting when you look at these riders how multidisciplined they are and how they've come through riding cyclocross and road and everything else. On to Kigali Golf again, 14% at the bottom. Chiabuco of Italy on the left-hand side, the Germans still maintaining their position. Isabella Holmgren still at the front. Doesn't have any teammates, I don't think, left in this group of riders. So now she's riding a little bit more of a conservative race. Was reminded by Chris that she won the mountain bike, cross-country and short course a couple of weeks ago in Switzerland as well. She's been a very, very busy rider. A quick question, I was asked whether there's any New Zealanders here in the race. Unfortunately this time, no, there's not. New Zealand have got a very small group of riders here, but they've already won a medal, haven't they? But not in this race this time. So I know so many of you supporting different nationalities. So this group is being thinned down again. And it looks like Mackenzie Copeland this time, the legs are giving out. She's done an immense job for Australia today. Bike change, puncture, got herself back all the time. Now she's just hauling her way to the top of this rise. Is she stuck in a gear she doesn't want to be in? I don't know, I think it's just the legs, unfortunately. But she's desperately trying to stay there just to help a little bit longer. It's such a selection now in this race. Next time round we'll only have 2 laps to go. The team car comes up, talks to the sports director in the car. They've decided that maybe it's not. She's having another conversation, a long conversation here. I wonder whether it is a mechanical issue. A long discussion. The mechanic having a chat, so maybe it is a problem, and it's not the legs. She's looking down, having a conversation with them, deciding what to do. Quite animated at this point in the race, as you would expect. We're nearly at the end of a World Championship. So over the top of the climb, and she's going to come back, so it must be a mechanical issue, and it might be that the Australian team car have decided, okay, let's try and sort this out and give her a chance to be there at the finish, because she's just rolling her way back on. And team car needs, if they're going to do something, they need to get a bike ready or wheels ready or whatever it might be. And earlier on we saw the bike change she had was quite a long time, and they did it from too far back down the convoy. I'm just listening to hear if Radio Tour is going to ask for Australia to come up. Because earlier on it sounded like the traffic wasn't being brought up quick enough for these riders. Into the feed area, bottles being dropped. Dodgy dropping them there and letting them roll back in by a couple of riders. You can see them bounce off the curb, but actually not bouncing back too much, which is great news. Number 47 down there in the middle is Tabea Weiss of Austria. Nova right in the middle still. Back at the front, such a good climber, such a multi-talented bike rider. And the Romanian rider is into the pits, and it's game over for Wendy Brunner. Mackenzie Copeland out the saddle again. Got a real mix of riders in this front group. Toria Schladnova on the front of the group now. She rides for the team of Wiesmann Lisa bike. She's got a contract till the end of 2027. She finished second in the individual time trial the other day. And Australia, I'm hearing, and Copeland has stopped on the right-hand side. She just went out of camera shot. Can they get her back in to the race with 34.5 kilometres to go? Will the legs allow it? She's heading towards the bottom of these cobbles. Maybe they've chosen that this is the fastest section, and if she can get a quick wheel change or bike change, she can get up and running, get in the convoy and work her way back on by the cobbled section. She's got just under 2k to do that.